No matter where you've been in your life, near or far, anyone on the road to recovery has a well-traveled heart.
Oh, every day. I've sat and wondered when the day will come when I don't think about it, honestly, and I don't know when. I think it'll be years down the road, and you'll still think about this probably every day.
It's been 180 days since Mayfield was hit.
It skated over me enough. It ripped my roof completely off.
Since Larry Nichols was hit by an EF4 tornado, Nichols is one of the few families left in this neighborhood on Mayfield's northeast side.
In the whole neighborhood, there's only maybe, block radius or 2 block radius, maybe 4 people at the most. So
Nichols says his next-door neighbor left after the storm and never came back.
I think everything the lady owns is still in her house, too, I'm pretty sure.
And 6 months later, you can see the neighbor's clothes on hangers and family photos still stuck to the fridge.
I don't know really the story, or anything like that goes, but there's still a lot of people that lost everything.
Not 20 yards behind Nichols' back door, 3-year-old Jalil Dunbar was killed when his entire home collapsed around him. Dunbar was one of 24 Kentuckians who died in Graves County from the storm.
It just kills me knowing that a lady was laying over there, probably holding her dead kid. That's tough to swallow.
In Mayfield, in this moment, you can see homes being built. Next to empty lots where homes used to stand. Next to houses too badly damaged to be saved, yet abandoned up until this point. It's an unnatural scene created by Kentucky's deadliest natural disaster. 180 days later, Dawson Springs residents share many of the same views.
It's been a journey. It's hard to look around and hardly see anything,
Volunteers from Georgia are rebuilding Judy Gregg's roof.
And as you can see, our house that we got now is where all the people are.
Except Gregg and her husband only recently purchased this home.
Back porch. And this would have been in front of our house.
On the night of December 10th, Gregg and her family huddled in the bathroom of their longtime home, just a few blocks away. They would be stuck there for hours.
It was just, there was so much debris around our whole house that we couldn't get out,
Hundreds of homes were damaged in a town of just 2,500. 6 months later, Gregg is one of the few in her neighborhood still here.
Some are rebuilding, some can't afford to. It was depressing for a while, because you don't see nothing.
The scars left behind are on the surface and below it, and because of both, Larry Nichols' heart weighs heavy.
Still day to day, struggle with it still. My kids, when a thunderstorm rolls through, they get tense. My 10-year-old definitely, he's a nervous wreck when a storm blows in or anything like that. So,
undoubtedly, the last 180 days has taken the residents of Mayfield and Dawson Springs through every emotion. And of all the emotions he's felt,
my wife and 2 kids, we was fine, lived through it.
As long as he keeps arriving at Grateful, Larry Nichols says he'll be okay.
It's kind of mind-boggling to really think about it. Kind of feels like it's only been a few months, really. At times, and at times it feels like it's been a long time. But
the road to recovery is a journey, and how long the journey lasts is unknown. It's different for everyone. The destination for all, however, is a well-traveled heart. Jonathon, Gregg, Spectrum News. Would you believe me if I told you this was a time machine?
Just gives me shivers to think how it must have felt.
In a St. Matthew's basement.
This is another test record, and we can try that.
That'll have to do it close enough for jug band.
A dozen curious minds and musicians are about to go way back traveling to the very beginning of recorded sound. But first,
Hello, hello!
a test.
The Juggernaut Jug Band for the American Phonograph Society. Test 1! Let's see.
The man with the booming voice is Wyatt Marcus, one of the last mechanical phonograph technicians in the entire world. He's driven this Edison recorder 9 hours from his workshop in Rochester, New York.
So this machine will record and replicate sound, and this particular machine is from about 1905. When the diaphragm vibrates, it vibrates vertically, and it changes the cutting depth of that sapphire.
Marcus travels the country recording sound and music to wax cylinders.
He's louder here, and he was a little quieter there.
And just as it was done at the end of the 19th century.
A small piece of tick-tock history.
However, this will all be done with some 21st century flair, streaming live on TikTok.
Please share. This is only going to happen now.
In 1877, Thomas Edison invented the phonograph recorder. In 1965, Roscoe Goose Helm co-founded the Juggernaut Jug Band.
We've just been really excited about this. Just to, this whole experience about how to get this done, that's a first for all of us.
It just sort of all fell together, and here we are, from all over the country.
Boys, I think we're in the right direction.
Washboard Man by the Juggernaut Jug Band, Louisville, Kentucky, December 20th, 2022. 1, 2.
So over the course of a 4-hour session, and for perhaps the first time in history, the Juggernauts lay down a track on Edison wax. The result? Nothing less than the magic of time travel. In Louisville, Jonathon, Gregg, Spectrum News.
You hear that?
A drive down Highway 476 in Breathitt and Perry counties is a winding reminder of the devastation caused by July's flash flooding. The heartbreak endured is emphasized by what's left of homes, and around some corners, there is nothing left at all.
I went over that fence. I went over it and caught on my foot.
The fast-moving water tried washing Orby Campbell away and nearly succeeded, but the 75-year-old's leg got caught by his fence.
He took my clothes off of it and everything coming down through here. There's a log got on me. I don't know how many times I went under the water, but...
Spectrum News visited his home several days later, while Campbell, a Vietnam veteran, was visiting the VA Center in Hazard.
It's just heartbreaking to look at and lose everything that was here. So
Campbell's daughter, Kimberly Terry, showed us inside.
Here's the water line.
And it was then we learned.
And he's so stubborn, he's sleeping on the front porch. He won't leave his house.
Campbell was sleeping outside in order to guard his property. He slept there for days.
About 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, I slept right there from that window on the bed.
3 months later, and it's still hard to imagine how high the water was.
The first plank below the window, it was up to that one that goes across there.
Water reached the second floor of Judy Hudson's Breathitt County home. Here's where it came from. Troublesome Creek sits 10 yards below the road and 40 yards from Hudson's home, and it still got that high.
And then I called his sister, my husband's sister, and told her to keep a calling the state police and tell them we was trapped.
Cable up. Clear noise. They're off the ground.
The Kentucky Air National Guard rescued 19 people, many from the roofs of homes during July's historic flash flooding. Judy Hudson crawled into a basket from her second floor door.
The helicopter started flying over, and we was waving stuff out the windows, and they come and got us.
Hudson was safe, but like so many Kentuckians, suffered a great loss.
You have no idea. It's hard. And if my sister would have lived, it would have been different, you know. It wouldn't have mattered, but it's hard.
Hudson's sister died in her home just a quarter-mile down the road. And 3 months later, Hudson and her husband have yet to replace the flooring or drywall in their home, which has a strong, musty odor, though it's where Judy spends most of her day.
That's probably why I'm coughing.
Progress is slow, much like the natural current of Troublesome Creek. A few miles down 476, Campbell's home was salvaged. A volunteer group from Kansas City replaced his floors and walls. Power and plumbing has been restored as well, but Campbell lost all his appliances. His truck was flooded too.
I need a stove, washer and dryer, and stuff like that.
He shows us around, but only for a few moments. The veteran says exposure to Agent Orange during the Vietnam War has weakened his body.
I'm feeling good, just got down my hips and my legs and can't walk. Other than that, I feel real good.
If it looks like Orby Campbell and Judy Hudson have been forgotten about, in some ways they have. While they may not say it, others in eastern Kentucky do. Hudson now keeps life jackets on her second floor.
Try to make sure we've got them handy at all times.
And Campbell is sleeping on an air mattress. They are getting on the best they know how and appreciate any help they receive. And help is still needed around every corner of Highway 476. Jonathon, Gregg, Spectrum News.